Welcome, Baron Ochola. Thanks for making the time to talk about the PR strategy at Lubowa Toastmasters. But before we get started, please tell us a bit about your journey in Toastmasters.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me, DTM Robert Karanja. I've been in Toastmasters for 1 year and 9 months now. I have been counting precisely because I'm trying to make some things happen in a certain span of time. I joined after being a member of the YMCA Gavo Club, which is Toastmasters in universities and the below 18s. So I've been around for a short bit and I've participated in contests. I've taken up leadership positions. It's hard to keep track, but I try. It's been a good journey.
That is quite shocking to me. I can't imagine. I actually thought you had been in Toastmasters for a couple of years now, considering how the things that you've been able to accomplish in the span of time that I've known you. And maybe you could tell us a bit about the PR at Lubowa. We could focus on that. Why is good PR important to a club, and does it make any difference to a club?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that. PR is, first off, for me, something that I do naturally because I study journalism. So I find that what I learn from the PR department, I go back to my classroom and I'm teaching students instead. Now, how important is PR? I believe PR is the heart of the club, together with what the Vice President Education does. It is the heart, because when you do anything in silence these days, nobody knows it happened. Even if you won and you did not publish it, nobody knows it happened. So that is where PR comes in. PR comes in for us to publish what we are doing. Is it a meeting? Yes. Is it an award ceremony, or is it just members having birthdays? Is it members celebrating any other wins in their lives? That PR comes in. When we have that happening, it is very easy to see the vibrance of the company, because anybody who is not inside the company or the club has no idea what is happening there. They might as well say the club stopped existing while you're holding meetings, only because you're not publishing. Like these days, it is said attention is the new oil. And that is what PR does. It helps you to get some attention towards you. And that way you get value for what you're doing. Yes.
Absolutely. I like the way that you put it. It's actually demonstrating the vibrance, all the work that you've put into organizing the meetings, into exciting your members needs to be shown out there. And that is the job of PR. So definitely, I think the way you expressed it, PR is quite important. At Lubowa, what are usually your priorities when you create posters to promote your meetings?
I think I will take that question twofold. When we do it, we look at the internal public and the external public. The internal public is the members who are already in Toastmasters, already in Lubowa, and they know about the club, they know about the meeting. So for them, they are going to look at the agenda, they are going to look at who is hosting this time around. They already know the time, they already know that we meet every first Saturday, every third Friday. But you find that I'm including those other elements as well, so that anybody who has never interacted with Lubowa will get to know this is where they meet. This is how much guest space, is how much members pay. This is how often they meet. So you'll find, for example, somebody will say Toastmasters. The question is usually, what do you toast? Is it a wine ceremony? If you do not put on the poster that it's a public speaking meeting, somebody who is from the external public will not know that it's a public speaking meeting. If you don't put that it's open to all, somebody will say, maybe it is exclusive to Toastmasters. So that is the first part I look at. What will the internal public look out for? What will the external public look out for? Then the second part is something I learned from my former VPPR who mentored me into it. That's Toastmaster Jonathan Twinamasiko. He said, when you're making the poster, there is hierarchy. What information is somebody going to look out for first when they look at the poster? For example, I've had Toastmasters come to meetings because of the agenda, the theme rather. Oh, that's a good theme. I relate with it, or I want to learn more about it. Somebody else will come because I like the Toastmaster of the day. So those are the things that you want to highlight first. Then the time can come later. The contact of the person the VPPR perhaps can come down, but in smaller letters. So I look at that arrangement of what is going to captivate somebody when they look at this poster first. Those are the two elements.
I absolutely like it. That hierarchy of information, what is going to capture the people that are going to see those posters? And also, how are you going to help people who have never interacted with Toastmasters know that this is a public speaking club and know exactly that they are welcomed and these are the days and the place that you meet? And who do you usually have in mind? I think you've talked a bit about this, but who do you usually have in mind when crafting communication from your club? Who is the target audience?
The target, once again, will be the internal and external, and then there's also the non-publics. The internal, those are the members of the club. Members of the club are going to want to see a poster early on such that they know that our club is not slacking. Whatever is happening in the background, they're preparing the meeting. And the one thing about members is even when you don't release a poster, in their mind, they know that we meet on this day and they will go to the location. So you'll find if there's any change, you need to communicate it as well. So that's why you'll find that the member, and that's not just in the club, but other Toastmasters, are the ones that you look at first. Then you have to look at the external publics. For example, we have people who know about Toastmasters, but they are not in Toastmasters. They are Rotarians, or they are in other clubs, or not in any of the clubs. But they might be looking out for public speaking, or they might not even be public speakers. So you have to put out information that helps them to know what is happening. Then there are members who have never heard of Toastmasters or have never even heard of public speaking being a thing in any way. So you have to look at a blend of all of those. For example, if you are in a business environment, there's a group I'm part of called PESA Business Clinic. If you're delivering a speech there, you have to tailor your theme towards business, no matter what it is. Even if it's about communication, you say communication for business. Now, the same thing with our posters. When we are doing for public speaking meeting, you'll want to say how to have a growth mindset for leaders, because that's where leaders are made. So in that way, you've captivated the audience. So basically, every bit of the poster should be reaching out to somebody, and any part of it that is not necessary should be cut out.
Oh, absolutely. That is an amazing focus that you have. And just to recap, you're focusing on the members to just inform them that the meeting planning is going on well. You're focusing on people who know about Toastmasters. And finally, you're focusing on people who have never heard about Toastmasters and getting them to know some details about your club. So where do you usually, once you've created these posters, where do you post them and other club information? Are there particular channels that seem quite helpful to your club in bringing in guests?
Yes, I'm going to share to that, and also what we are not doing that we should be doing. So we share to WhatsApp, especially because these days everybody checks out WhatsApp for their news updates, what's happening in my circle, my network. And we try to do that at least a week or two before the meeting so that people can mentally plan for it. So that is the Toastmasters WhatsApp groups, our statuses for our other networks that are not in Toastmasters, and then other groups that are not Toastmasters. Then from WhatsApp, we go to other social media platforms, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Threads, and a few others. You'll find the Instagram audience is looking for professionals, so we craft the message differently there, craft it differently for X and all these other platforms. When we do that, we tag other clubs or we tag other personalities or platforms that have something to do with public speaking. That helps to get the message out. And then one of the things that we are not doing is an emailing list, because I've noticed other clubs may have an emailing list, and whenever they have a meeting, it sends a link to you naturally, or it even sends a registration link and you can register. I've seen members who have not participated in a club's meetings for 3 years, receiving a link and saying, oh, I remember this club, let me attend. So that way they are hitting both their short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals on attracting members. You could also go as far as posting a video on TikTok, on YouTube, 30-second videos. Those help to attract members as well.
Great, great, great. Yeah, I like there's something that you said and really popped out for me where you said you prefer to share the posters about 1 to 2 weeks before a meeting on WhatsApp. And I think that is quite amazing. Maybe we can talk very briefly about it next, and also the different channels that you have targeted, and also how we can continue to reach people who have not been to our club in a long time through that mailing list that some clubs have implemented. So about the time, the timeline of producing your posters, have you found that particular days seem to be work best for your club in terms of sharing the information about your club, or rather, when do you share communication about your club?
Because WhatsApp and most of these platforms are saturated, we try to not overshare. So we can say once in 2 days or once in 3 days. That is, if you are sharing at least for 2 weeks. Then in the last week, you want to share as often as possible, perhaps once a day to keep reminding people. It is better to prefer to share 1 to 2 weeks prior, such that over the weekend, because most people will only look at the important things on WhatsApp during the week. They already have a program for the week. Then over the weekend, they will pick up the phone because they have the time during that weekend, scroll through and say what is happening this coming week. And then they make mental notes, or they even put it on their calendars and say, I will attend this, I will attend this, I will attend this. So that means if your meeting is this week, you want to have something out at least on Friday, the previous week, so that people have the weekend to see it, get accustomed to it, and understand that, yes, this is happening, and then they can join. If you post within that week, you will miss the people who have already set their program of the week. Yes.
Right, right. Actually, we are targeting professionals, and most of them plan their time quite extensively. And so giving them that early enough notice is going to help you attract the people that you would like to attract. And maybe in closing, you can tell us how has handling PR for your club helped you as a public speaker and as a leader?
Oh, that's a very good one. How has handling PR in the club helped me? I have handled PR in the club for about 2 years, first in the VP PR committee, of which I advocate every leader of a club must have a committee of advisors and of the members whom you're mentoring to take on. It has helped me in that it is a lot of times through the VPPR that communication comes in. Somebody says, hey, I would like to join the club, tell me about it. And then you have to explain what Toastmasters is. I have had to explain what Toastmasters is about 2,000 times. And then after that, you're able to send them the direction of the VPM or the secretary or the VPE for more explanations. It has given me that ability to sell, because now I've realized I have to look into Toastmasters. I have to understand it very well, and I should be able to explain what Toastmasters is in 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, somebody should have understood what the club meeting looks like and what the roles look like, what the club leadership looks like, what the Toastmasters structure looks like, what the pathways look like, and what you will get out of the whole experience. So that has helped me understand Toastmasters more. I've dived into it more. Every time I speak to a Toastmaster, they say, oh, I did not know that one. I did not know that one. I also did not know that they did not know. But if I wasn't in the PPR docket where I'm challenged to always have new information and organized information, I wouldn't have known that. That would be the first bit. The second bit is I realized that when you do publicity, the poster and posting on social media is not public relations. Public relations is actually the image of the club out there. So that means I have to go to other clubs to sell my club. I have to have relationships with other clubs because that's what it's public. VPP are public relations. So I have to have relationships. So the biggest lesson for me that I've been trying to get people to understand is public relations is not about designing a poster and posting it on social media. It's about actually having relationships with the community, with other Toastmasters in Uganda, in Kenya, outside, everywhere. And that's how they come to your meeting. And that's how you get role takers. That creates the whole vibrance. That's when people know what the heartbeat of the club looks like, even when they have never visited the club, because of the relationships you have with them.
That is an amazing takeaway for anybody who is watching this video. Public relations is about creating relationships with the public. And I think, just to summarize what you said, it is important for us to pay careful attention to every aspect of the communication that we send out. Think about the people who we are targeting. Think about the kind of information that they will need and provide that information to them. In addition to that, making sure that we send out our information early enough so that they can put it in their calendars and so they can act on it and attend our meetings. Once again, thank you so much, Baron Ochola, for such a wealth of wisdom from someone who has been in Toastmasters for just 1 year and 9 months. Thank you for this opportunity and have a great day.
Thank you so much, DTM Karanja. Have a wonderful day too.